It's the show that turned suit wearing into a lifestyle, made yellow umbrellas symbolic, and turned leggin, wait for it, dairy into a legitimate sentence. How I Met Your Mother wasn't just a sitcom, it was a puzzle box of flashbacks, running gags, and emotional sucker punches. But behind the laughs and high fives, the series hid some seriously strange stories. From almost recast roles to secret pregnancies, these are 20 weird facts you never knew about How I Met Your Mother. And stick around for the bonus one. It might just be the saddest thing Barney Stinson ever said off screen. Fact 1. Ted was almost played by a Marvel superhero. Before Josh Radnor landed the role of Ted Mosby, the producers were seriously considering casting Jason Biggs. Yes, the American Pie guy, but he passed. Years later, Josh Radnor revealed that he had no idea how big the role would become, and that he beat out future Marvel star Paul Rudd, who also auditioned. Can you imagine Ant-Man stealing blue French horns? Fact 2. Lily's pregnancy totally hidden. In season 4, actress Allison Hannigan, Lily, was pregnant in real life, but her character wasn't, so the showrunners went into TV camouflage mode. Constant large purses, oversized jackets, conveniently placed globes, pumpkins, or sandwiches. At one point, they even used a giant basketball to hide her baby bump. Lily's midsection was basically a game of Where's Waldo for 9 episodes straight. Fact 3. The actors took real shots on set once. During the episode 3 Days of Snow, Season 4, Marshall and Lily share a special moment involving airport drinks and snowstorms. To keep the scene authentic and apparently fun, the cast actually took real shots of tequila during the filming. It was only supposed to be one. By take 4, things got fuzzy. Jason Segel later said, "We didn't even know if we were still rolling." Fact 4. Barney's suits had their own department. Neil Patrick Harris wore over 200 different suits during the series. And yes, they were all real suits. No fake sleeves, no Velcro, no illusions. So much so that the costume department had an entire Barney wardrobe archive with a spreadsheet tracking every suit's screen time. One poor intern's job was literally, check if this tie has already appeared in season 3. Some heroes don't wear capes, they wear Armani. Fact 5. The theme song? Totally in-house. That catchy opening jingle, "Hey Beautiful," wasn't bought off a jingle reel or licensed from a band. It was written and performed by the Solids, a real band fronted by show creators Carter Bays and Craig Thomas. Yes, the guys who created Ted and Marshall also wrote their theme song. In fact, Bays and Thomas were in a band together at Wesleyan, just like Ted and Marshall in the show. Life imitates sitcom. Fact 6. The cast had a secret pact about the ending. From as early as season 2, the writers knew how they wanted the show to end, and they shot the kids' reaction scene in 2006, long before the final season. The actors playing Ted's kids, Lindsay Fonseca and David Henry, were sworn to secrecy for nearly a decade. Henry said, "It was like being in a sitcom version of the Da Vinci Code. We weren't even allowed to talk to our friends about it." Fact 7. Robin Sparkles was inspired by a real 80s star. Let's go to the mall today. Robin Sparkles' glittery Canadian pop star alter ego was a fan favorite, but she wasn't random. The creators based her on real 80s Canadian acts like Alanis Morissette and Debbie Gibson, with a little bit of Tiffany thrown in. Kobe Smulders, who played Robin, actually recorded the entire song in one take, and it charted on real iTunes. That's right, Robin Sparkles is technically a charting artist. Fact 8. Josh Radnor is allergic to dogs. In the show, Ted has a dog, several in fact, throughout flashbacks. But in real life, Josh Radnor is severely allergic to dogs. Anytime you see him petting or hugging a pooch on screen, clean. He was on prescription antihistamines and doing his best not to sneeze between takes. As Radner once said, "I looked like a man in love. I felt like a man in an allergy commercial." Fact 9. Barney's magic tricks were real. Barney Stinson isn't just a womanizer, he's also a stage-level magician, and the show didn't fake it. Neil Patrick Harris is a real-life member of the Magic Castle in Los Angeles. He's performed card tricks on late-night shows and served as president of the Academy of Magical Arts. When Barney pulls a rabbit from a hat or manipulates a deck of cards, that's 100% Neil doing his own sleight of hand. No camera tricks, no CGI. Barney would be proud. Fact 10. The blue French horn still exists. One of the most iconic props in the series, the blue French horn wasn't just TV decoration. It became a symbol of Ted and Robin's love story. And after the finale, Josh Radnor stole it. Okay, maybe borrowed is the polite word. He took it home as a souvenir and has since admitted that it now sits above his fireplace. Every love story deserves a trophy, even if it's stolen brassware. Fact 11. Marshall and Lily's wedding had a hidden cameo. The wedding of Marshall and Lily is a fan favorite episode, but blink and you'll miss a cameo from someone very important. Carter Bays, one of the show's creators, appears as a wedding guest. You can spot him sitting in the audience, grinning like a proud parent. Why? Because that wedding scene was one of the first major story milestones he'd written years earlier in a college notebook. For Bays, it wasn't just a scene. It was the moment How I Met Your Mother became more than a sitcom. It became a love story he'd been waiting to tell. Fact 12. Kobe Smulders had no idea she was Canadian. Robin Scherbatsky's Canadian heritage became one of the show's running gags. Maple syrup, ice skating, Tim Hortons, and of course, Robin Sparkles. But here's the twist. Kobe Smulders is Canadian in real life, and the writers didn't even know when they wrote her character. It was pure coincidence. Once they found out, they leaned in hard, adding references, slang, and a whole episode about Robin's fear of malls. Sometimes the best running jokes aren't written, they're just really convenient accidents. Fact 13. Ted's tattoo was real, and for a day. In Season 3, Ted gets a surprise tattoo after a wild night out with Amy, played by Mandy Moore. The tramp stamp, as Barney lovingly calls it, became a running gag, but the production team went full method. They actually had Josh Radnor wear the fake tattoo for days, including in public between shoots. He later said fans would stop him in line at Starbucks and whisper, "Dude, that's permanent, right?" It wasn't, but the memory. Totally inked. Fact 14. Neil Patrick Harris broke a rib on set. Being Barney Stinson isn't always suited up smoothness. In the episode where Barney dives over a taxi hood, Neil Patrick Harris went all in. No stunt double. The landing? Not so smooth. He ended up cracking a rib, but didn't tell anyone until after the scene wrapped. He said, "It was worth it. Barney would have done it." You've gotta respect the commitment. He didn't just suit up, he suffered up. Fact 15. There are two versions of the ending. Ah yes, the infamous ending. Fans were split when the series finale aired. Some loved the full circle story, while others were ready to riot over Robin. What many didn't realize was that the showrunners actually filmed two endings. One version had Ted and Tracy, the mother, staying together, happy and whole. The other, used in the final cut, had Ted returning to Robin with that blue French horn. After the backlash, the alternative ending was released on DVD, letting fans choose their own Heimem adventure. Fact 16. Jason Segel hated the smoking scenes. Marshall's occasional cigarette habits weren't real because Jason Segel was trying to quit smoking in real life during much of the series. He agreed to smoke herbal cigarettes for authenticity, but hated every second of it. Allison Hannigan even said she refused to kiss him after smoking scenes, calling the smell like a burnt maple leaf dipped in regret. Eventually, Segel kicked the habit entirely, and Marshall stopped lighting up altogether. Fact 17. The show used real baby photos, sort of. When Lily gives birth to baby Marvin, there's a quick slideshow of baby photos as the gang imagines the child's future. Those baby pictures? They're real photos of the cast and crew as babies, including a young Neil Patrick Harris in a sparkly diaper. The production team said it was a last-minute idea to make the episode more heartfelt, and it worked. Suddenly, it wasn't just Marvin, it was all of them growing up on screen. Fact 18. The mother's name was hidden in plain sight. We spent 8 seasons hearing only one thing. This is the story of How I Met Your Mother, and for years, fans begged to know her name. It was finally revealed as Tracy McConnell, but sharp-eyed viewers figured it out way earlier. In season 1, there's a throwaway joke where Ted says, "And that's how I met your mother." The kids gasp. Then he says, "Just kidding, her name's Tracy." The audience laughs, but the writers later confirmed, yep, that was the real name, hidden in plain sight since the pilot. Fact 19. The time jumps were meticulously mapped out. One of the most ambitious parts of Ham was its non-linear storytelling. We jumped from 2005 to 2030 and everywhere in between, but none of it was random. The writers used a master timeline spreadsheet, keeping track of every birthday, breakup, holiday, and callback. They even accounted for minor continuity, like Barney's suit preferences across years. One writer joked, "Our script meetings look like a crime board from CSI. Strings, photos, post-its. It was like solving our own mystery every week." Fact 20. The pineapple incident remained a mystery until it didn't. Ah, yes. The pineapple incident, a fan favorite season 1 mystery where Ted wakes up with a hangover, a sprained ankle, and a pineapple on his nightstand. For years, fans begged for an answer, and then it came, quietly, on the season 9 DVD extras. In a deleted scene, we learned the pineapple came from the captain's front porch, part of a tradition where he keeps pineapples outside for good luck. Drunk Ted apparently saw it, stole it, and brought it home. Case closed. Mystery solved. Only took 9 years. Bonus fact, the mother's final scene was filmed 2 years early. The most heart-wrenching moment of the entire series wasn't filmed at the end. It was filmed 2 years before the finale aired. Actress Kristen Milioti, who played Tracy McConnell, aka the mother, shot her final hospital scene in 2012, while the show was still airing season 7. Why the rush? Because the kids, David Henry and Lindsay Fonseca, were aging out of their roles. To preserve continuity and secrecy, the showrunners brought in Milioti early, filmed her most emotional scenes in complete isolation, and stored them in a vault. Milioti later admitted she had no idea how the rest of the story played out. She acted out the final moments of Tracy's life without seeing any of the buildup. No wedding, no children, no closure. She just had to trust the story, and whether you loved the ending or hated it, one thing's for sure, that was acting with blind faith. The story was always bigger than the mother. How I Met Your Mother wasn't just about how Ted met Tracy. It was about every wrong turn, every slap, suit, and failed proposal. It was about growing up, falling down, and asking, what if I never get there? For 9 seasons, we followed 5 friends as they stumbled their way through adulthood. Drunk on love, terrible at texting, and clinging to rituals like the last high five of the night. We waited years to meet the mother. And by the time we did, we realized something bigger. The show wasn't telling the story of how I met her. It was telling the story of why she mattered. Every blue French horn, every rooftop Halloween party, every song by Robin Sparkles. They weren't detours, they were the map. So if you laughed, cried, or yelled at your screen during the finale, congrats, you were in it. You were one of the kids hearing the story one long memory at a time. And whether you love the ending or not, Ted's Journey to the Yellow Umbrella is still one of the boldest love stories TV ever told.